waiting. I'm trying to like sit up, like, let me see. I'm sitting up on a, I don't know which view is better. I've got pillows because my chairs are so short. All right, you guys, guess what day this is? It is, hold on a second. It is Super Bowl. There, I had to fix the light. Okay. Oh, all right, I'm back. I'm back. I dipped out and dipped back in. I'm trying to fix my seat. Hi, you guys. I know I'm like a little kid. I have to sit up on this right here. So I'm sitting up on it. All right, yay. Yeah, I don't know about that. I just, I'm obnoxious. I've never done the Super Bowl thing. My boys and Johnny would do the Super Bowl thing. Nova Scotia, I bet you it's freaking, look, this is so bad. Look at this. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm addicted. Exactly. I know. I've never watched the Super Bowl. I just don't. I can't even. I'm like, I can't. I just can't. But I know, and I'm wearing a weird shirt. I just literally slept in this shirt. And I have to watch what I'm doing. Mississauga, totally. Oh my God, Vienna, Austria. Bravo. It's snowy there. I know it's snowy there. How fun. Oh my God, you made it live. Am I alive? I don't know. I don't know. Edmonton. Okay, got you. Edmonton, Halifax, Nova Scotia, Starbucks. I saw Starbucks. New Zealand. Snowy in Nebraska. It's not snowy here. It was actually like 70 something. And if I sleep in, and by sleeping in, I mean I don't get out the door till 6:30 in the morning, like in Los Angeles or around California, that's really, 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 really awfully hot in the summer. So this is so I stay awake because we had a fun day. Peterborough, Ontario. I know where it is. We had a really fun day yesterday. We totally, Kitchener, know it. Absolutely know it. Okay, so we literally had the best fun. So I came home from running and I keep trying on new shoes. There's Cranbrook. Yay. I keep trying on new shoes, right? And yes, I went to Palm Springs. I know I did. I was going to say that. I can't. Okay. Can you see me? Why am I crooked? I don't know. I have to fix this one day. I can't sit still to fix it. Truth is, I'm always here, there, everywhere. But yeah, we went to Palm Springs and it was super fun. I did not hike. I went to look at my mountain because the tram is closed. So I can't really do close to 40 miles up and down. I just can't. I just don't have it in me. And once you go up that freaking hill, you're at a 90-degree angle coming back. And I didn't hike in Palm Springs. I hiked outside. I know jelly beans would be delicious. If I start that, that's going to be a whole other thing. Anyway, so, yeah, so we drove out there. Now, traffic was really weird, okay? You got the notification. Awesome. Traffic was really weird because I fell asleep and I was doing a meditation. I was completely out of body. And then my phone kept ringing and I was like, oh my God, I got to wake up. So then I said, let's go to Palm Springs. So we went to Palm Springs, but it took like 3 hours to drive there. But it kind of detoured because I went from the 10 to the 210 and down the middle of the 10. So when I got to the 10, it was like, screech halt. So I'm like, oh, I can't wait in this. I went back to the 210 and then it was like, oh my God, screech halt. So then I went down the side streets and caught the 10. I mean, the 10. Anyway, it ended up taking like 3 hours, but that was okay. We went and so when I got to Palm Springs, right? I know timing this at halftime. I don't even know what time it is. I'm like, oh, it's whatever. Anyway, so thank you for that. So here's what happened. So we got to Palm Springs and we got there like at 4:30 and I went to look at the mountain. So we went up a little bit and then came back, right? And how do you feel? I feel fine, but I'm having coffee. I got chicken for dinner and then I got spinach. But so last night, so we looked at the mountain, we looked, where I wasn't hiking and all of that. And then, right? And then, we went walking up and down the street in Palm Springs and all the restaurants were open, super open. I know. And it was so like, I mean, it was a lot of tourists, I think. And you know how you can tell the tourists in Palm Springs? So all us California types are wearing, like I'm in a turtleneck as usual. And because I wear that, it was like 73, but that's cold for California because it's usually like 100 something for me, for my head. Anyway, so all of the tourists are wearing like spaghetti straps and little booty shorts and all of that, you know, whatever outfits. And then you can tell locals because they're like, oh my God, I'm wearing a turtleneck and I have a jacket on and I have mittens on. It's like 70. And they turned the heater on next to our table because I was like, I'm cold. No, I love it. They wear the booty shorts, but they are from somewhere really cold, right? And then there was a lot of tourists. There were a lot of different languages going on. The streets were packed. The streets were packed. It was absolutely fabulous. More than half the people were not wearing anything other than their clothes. You know, nothing else. And anyway, a couple of the restaurants were you know, line up to get in or whatever. So we waited like, I don't know, I want to say 20 minutes and we got in and I had salmon and spinach and rice and this huge big salad. I must have a huge big salad. If I can't find a salad, I don't really want to eat because I just don't. Anyway, yeah, so no, it was really fun. We had a lot of fun. So we went and there was all the lights up there and they had all the side stores open. So they had like, I don't know, I guess you would call them tourist stores, but whatever they were selling in them, sun hats, sundresses, great thrift stores. Yeah, no, I didn't get onions last night because the salad was just a separate salad. And the salmon was a separate salmon. So the salad was in between us for the, you know, my dinner guest had steak and I had salmon and that's what we had. So we had that and it was very good and very yummy. And that's what we did. And then we walked around and everybody had their dogs out. So the dogs were all out at the restaurants. Oh, salmon, totally. But then I had rice and I had spinach. So everybody was out. Nobody was shutting down. The music was all over the street. People were drinking. People were eating their fries. Babies were out. People were with their puppies and I didn't see any cats, but the dogs. Tons of skateboarding teenagers, which I loved. They were jumping the steps. And I was like, oh, remember when Keithy did that? So anyway, me and Johnny were like, yeah, Keithy did that. So it was really cute. And we were looking at all these teenagers and they were, you know, doing the steps and jumping the steps, you know, like that. So it was really fun. And that was really, really good. So that was way fun. So we did that. That is what we did. That's it. No, yeah, I know. It was great. It was absolutely, oh, there's Jackie, cute Jackie. I know you called me yesterday, Jackie. I have to call you back. But I was in Palm Springs eating my damn dinner. No, I was either on the way to Palm Springs in that 3 hours of traffic. But I did see your call and I meant to call back today, but of course I haven't been anywhere. Wait, oh, you did? Okay, good. I'm glad you talked to Deanna. Good. Yeah, that's good. I talked to Deanna earlier, like a couple of hours back. Yeah, good. But I was in Palm Springs yesterday. So my phone was blown up yesterday and I'm like, I'm in Palm Springs. I'm going to eat my food. That's what I'm going to do. Okay, so this is, I mean, I don't even know what's going on the Super Bowl because I never ever watch it. So I don't know. Yeah, so I don't know. But anyway, I was going to say this. Okay, so yeah, this is a cute shirt, huh? Like look, it goes, there's a boob shot, you guys. Anyway, it goes like that. It cuts out there, but it's still a turtleneck with long sleeves, which I got to cover this up now because it's all getting too Irish. It's getting all Irish. You know how that is. Yeah, men in tights running a pigskin. Yeah, I can't even. I'm like, whatever. I'm like, whatever. I don't even care. I don't care about football. I really can't care about football. I'm just bored out of my mind with it. I mean, I don't even know anything about it. Exactly. So yeah, not a football fan. Don't know what to say. But you know what I was going to say? So the other live that we did, I know the boob shot, right? I know. Hey, you got to use what you got to use in life. If it's a boob shot, it's a boob shot. They're maintaining nicely, okay? I can't really do an ass shot from here, so it's a boob shot. Anyway, so what I was gonna say, so there was like a rude person on here, a couple of rude people, but a rude person on here the other night, which I'm not saying the name of the person, but the person after the last video bothered to email, okay, seriously, bothered to email. Do you hear me? Oh, I can send money if I want. Thank you, Jackie. No, that person that was screaming, I know. Thank you so much, Jackie. Yeah, whoever she was, I couldn't see her text, but she actually emailed me, which I didn't respond to. But I wanted to say, are you fucking kidding me? Shut the fuck up, okay? Because the problem, and I wanted to explain this from, I know Jackie's awfully darling, and actually, it just helps with legal bills and everything that I have for Keith's case. So I appreciate it. I mean, beyond. Yeah, no, I got the email and she basically, I can read you guys the email, but I don't even want to give her the credit for that. But I didn't respond. However, she made a point of saying, yeah, she made a point of saying, you know, I wasn't talking to you badly. I don't think she's a troll though. I think she's been on here a while. She just felt like she wanted to state her opinion, but nobody asked her fucking opinion. So she was commenting on money, which was not what we were talking about. If we were talking about something, she could say, you know, I have a different opinion about person A or B or football or whatever. But no, she didn't. What she had was, she said, I didn't say, listen to this, I didn't say as mean things as other people have said to you. So she's like also an asshole when she said that. That's very passive aggressive. But besides that, the problem is the misconception with money, with what people assume, okay? And then I know, she was basically saying, I don't know how to block her. I can't find the thing on here. So I didn't actually see her. She was writing all in caps. There's an issue with that. First of all, people know what kind of asshole she is because she doesn't understand the concept of money. Okay, so that's what I want to talk about. But the other thing is she was like, you talk about the celebrities and what they do, and that's just your opinion. So she wanted to try and control some of the things I say. I know firsthand because I worked in the industry, and some of the people I talk about, I had experiences with. So it's not an opinion. It's shit that I saw, okay? So when I saw the shit, I left the shit. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah. So anyway, I know, right? Yeah, no, it was her. That's right. So anyway, but I don't know how to block her on here. If somebody finds her page, send it to me. I like whatever, and then I'll go in and block it on the thing. Like actually, I'll block it. But what's interesting is when you're looking at a flow of money, your opinion on spiritual dowsing, I don't know if I have an opinion on that. But what I wanted to say about money is, first of all, if you don't understand reciprocation, you're not going to understand money. Now, let's look at reciprocation in a way. If you're a 10-year-old and you get an allowance and your allowance is $5, let's say, for a month, right? Like your allowance is $5 and you're 10. So you're going to buy some bubble gum, soda pop, ice cream. I'm going to buy jelly beans and probably sneak off and try to find a coffee, whatever, chocolate. I'm going to buy chocolate. Anyway, so you're going to do all of that stuff, right? But even a 10-year-old with $5 for a whole month is generous to the point that they might give their little friend a bag of chips. They might give a homeless guy 50 cents. They might go down the street and, buy, a whatever for a little animal at the zoo or whatever, right? Buy some balloons for somebody's birthday. Go and buy their mom something with this $5. Now, they don't have any money, and the money that they get is from their parents, right? So when you get the money from your parents, these little kids, some will be hoarders, but a lot of them will go out and spend their money. That's what we're always telling them. Teach the, in all caps. I love blocking people in all caps. Anyway, what those little kids do when they're 10 is they are reciprocating the money. Money is an energy. So money comes in and money comes out. Now, what I realized when I heard that woman talking and I read the email, I realized how dangerous jealous people are. And it's very covetous and it's very jealous. Okay. I know the nails are so good. Jasmine's nails. I've gone to Jasmine, and let me just tell you, I've gone to Jasmine for, oh my God, Jason was a baby. So he's 28, 29 years. When she had her shop, then she lost her shop. She's about 10 years younger than me. And then she had breast cancer, and then she lost everything, and then her marriage, etc. Anyway, I drive 30 minutes out of my way to go to Jasmine's house to give her business because I can now. There may have been a time where I couldn't, but I always gave her business. So the way that I think about things is I could go down the street, right? I could go down the street and I could go to a nail shop down the street or whatever. Sorry, my hair is going to go crazy again. I could do any of that, but Jasmine has kids, so I'm going to drive to her and there's reciprocation. So I'm going to send her people and I'm going to go and I'm going to do that. And then I'm going to go back over here and then people are going to reciprocate and give to me. And I may go down the street and buy dinner at, I don't know, a local restaurant or a truck that, one of those trucks where Maya and I had the people. Oh, thank you for saying a hand model. Is that like a Seinfeld thing? Like George was a hand model till he fell on the iron, remember? Okay, so that's another Seinfeld reference. I'm sorry, I can't help myself. But anyway, what people have to understand is money is reciprocation. And I realized how dangerous it is when somebody actually makes a point of saying, you're successful, you should not take money. And okay, first of all, I'm not taking money, but I am doing YouTube and all the channels on YouTube, in case people didn't know, all the channels on YouTube are Google AdWords, unless they get kicked off of it, but they make money running ads on Google AdWords, okay? So they're making money. If you see channels with advertising running, the owners of those channels are making money, whether they talk about cars, whether they talk about how to, do projects, or whether they talk about whatever it is they talk about, right? They are earning money through the ads. So Super Chat is another way that people do it. Thank you so much for that. You and Jackie both, and thank you. Can you spare a square? No, I can't spare a square. But when you look at it, they're making money on YouTube. When you assume, like this woman did, see, if she was in a position of power in a business and you were, say, an attractive woman that worked at that business and you got a lot of overtime, she would, no, these blue glasses are just like my favorite prop, my running glasses, and they're Guess Factory. They're like $38, and I have several pairs because when I wear them running, the eye things pop out and they bend because I drop them a lot. But anyway, I know George in his hands, right? And his moisturizer in his soft hands. It's funny as shit. Anyway, if you have a boss that thinks about you that way, you guys don't ask Jackie what she is or isn't. No one's money is your business. You are allowed to do what you want with the money. Like the 10-year-old thank you, Bobby. Thank you so much. Like the 10-year-old that spends their money and gives their whole $5 away. That's a choice. Yes, that's correct with Coast to Coast. That's a choice for them. And so what it is it's reciprocation of energy. But the problem is in our society, it's a tool. Yeah, it's like being able to breathe. It's like, yeah, peekaboo sweater. Look, you guys, here we go. Bra showing. It's actually a bathing suit top. And then there's all the Irish freckles there. Boob shot. All right, so now we're done with that. But when you're looking at it, people in control of your money who decide for you, your capacity to earn is very evil. For anybody to tell anybody what they should make in life, whether you get, I don't know what it is, whether you make, let's say you look at Starbucks sells their coffee, like I get a cappuccino and it's expensive, $4 or whatever it is. So you could go somewhere else and it would be $2.50. McDonald's does, coffee for $1.50. Starbucks is $2.50. If you don't want to go there, take your fucking ass and walk out the other way, get your coffee somewhere else, right? Or whatever. So when people come on a YouTube channel and start deciding for somebody that they consider to be successful, and that's another thing I was going to address. She's trying to block someone's energy from being even more successful because it's ridiculous. And that's a very selfish person who doesn't understand reciprocation. And then success is another definition. How do you see yourself, right? So how do you see yourself as successful? Some people don't. I had other goals in my life. So me doing what I'm doing, I don't see myself as successful or not. This is just what I've done. Okay. So like when I was 17, I was doing this. When I was 18, I was doing this. In my 50s, I'm still doing this. And my kids grew up in a home where I did this work every single day. So my family gave up a lot of their personal free space with their mother to help their mother help people who showed up on the door, slept on my couch, ate out of our fridge, showed up at Christmas, all of that. Okay. I don't kill myself, so I'm successful. There you go. I hope you don't. That's right. That's what I'm saying. How do you define success? That's another point. What I have right now is a brand that I've built up for 38 years. So I've done this work for 38 years. And that's something that people don't understand. So when I started this channel, I didn't know anything about YouTube. Again, it was Keithy that said, Mom, just go on camera like you want, because they were not hiring me at the networks. And so, I don't know what to say about that. So that's how this started. He said, Mom, just do it and then you can do it, right? So that's what I did. And this is my brand. I started doing this work at 17. So I started actually doing this work on a street corner, not as a prostitute. Not that there's anything wrong with that, said Seinfeld. But not as, not as that. I just started doing that. Okay. That's what I started doing. So if you had a pack of cigarettes to give me at that time, yes, you heard that right, then I would do a reading for you for 10 minutes. I would be like, yeah, I'll trade you some cigarettes for this. Because God knows in Canada, they were like $10 a pack when I left in 86, right? And it was Keith who said, Mom, don't worry. It doesn't matter what you look like. I'm like, because I was like, now I'm old. I'm like, I'm old, Keith. And he's like, just do it. Because you know why? Do you know why I really did it? I very much wanted to do astrology on camera. And in the late 80s and 90s, I started, I was on the talk shows and stuff, right? So that's what I was doing. Not every day and not enough to make enough money to make over 60,000 a year, which is great, but not, do you know what I'm saying? Like not enough to make a shit ton of money. That's a contract and that's syndication and that's other elements of camera. But you could make money. Like for a month, you might make $4,000 and then you might only make 1,500 because you're only doing readings for $20 or whatever, right? And so I will say this, Keith and Jason and John literally had people in their house their whole childhood. Keithy, I was doing readings while I was breastfeeding Jason. Like I would have my baby on the boob, breastfeeding, and Keithy, and my clients would be sitting at the table. They were welcomed into my house. That is how it started. I had everybody. Before that, I was literally on the steps outside of a street corner in the strip clubs. This is where I got known. This is how it happened. And I continued to do my work. And astrology is something I started learning when I was really young, but really advanced it when I met my first teacher, which was Brian. When I came here at 1920, age 19, turning 20. And so I was really well molded. So in that sense, I've done this every day, and Keith and Jason both. But Keithy said to me, Mom, I had pitched a show is what had happened. I had pitched a show, and in 2009, it got stolen 2008, it got stolen. Okay. So it ended up on air, but it got stolen by somebody else who Keith walked in the house and he's like, that's a cheap knockoff of you, Mom. And I'm like, yep. Because he knew Keith filmed our original pilot in 2005. Okay. Keith was like 9 or 10. And anyhow, that happened. And so I was never going to get my TV show. And we called it Psychic Mom at the time. And it was the work that I did. And I was never going to get it. It wasn't going to happen. It was done. And then I was going to be the copier. So Keith said, Mom, just do your camera work. Just do it. Just talk to the camera. I had 64 people. So I was filming just to see if I could do it, just to do it. And that's what I did. That's what I did. And that's how this started. So I never thought saying, you know, all of that shit, like, subscribe. I just didn't want to do it. I just wanted somebody to watch me talking like I had a TV show. And I wanted to talk crystals and astrology and stuff like that. Yeah, Bobby knows. Bobby has been in the production end in Hollywood too on camera. They literally stole pieces of my personality. I'll even tell you a story. I'm not going to say who it is exactly, but I'll give you a hint. I'll give you a hint at the end. So back in 2006, when I had my complete, no, not about that TV show, but back in 2006, I had a complete nervous breakdown. My eyes twitching again. I had a complete nervous breakdown, right? And my hair fell out. I wasn't eating. I had such bad anxiety. So I literally had bald patches in my hair, and I had longer hair. I had hair down to here. So I was at lunch with vice president of Paramount Pictures, and we were having lunch, and I could not eat the lunch. So I was being invited to all these lunches and dinners, and I was being invited and groomed for a TV show, okay? So I would show up, and I'd wear these big, long, flowy skirts because I was losing so much weight. And I had all of that, you know, my hair was falling out, so I'd like spin it up here and have a piece down. And then I could never eat. They were taking me for sushi, and they were like taking me everywhere, and I couldn't swallow solid food. I literally ate baby food for 3-4 years. Anyway, yeah, no, this is a true story. So I was at lunch, and I really liked this woman. She's a fellow Leo, and I really liked her, like truly really liked her. Anyway, she said to me, you're losing so much weight. At that time, I lost like 30 pounds off of this frame. So I was maybe 110 pounds. Super skinny, and my, you know, face was gone. You could just see my big teeth because my face was shrinking. And so anyway, I said, yeah, I've got to blend all my food. This is a true story. So what we were doing, me and John and Jason and Keith had just come back from Banff, and we'd gone all over Canada, and I couldn't eat because I just thought I just couldn't eat. I couldn't swallow. So I had a blender in my purse, like a, you know, a pureer, and I would puree my food. So we go downstairs and get salmon and potatoes at dinner. I could eat potatoes. I ate potatoes. I ate peanut butter, and I could eat yogurt. It's a really weird diet. But anyway, my hair was falling out. So we did this, and we went all over Canada with me not eating. And I would puree the food, right? Puree it. So I was saying to this I'm 5'6". I was saying to this vice president, you know, I can't swallow. I'm having fucking panic attacks. And I would start bizarre, okay? I was literally having nervous breakdown big time. And I couldn't sleep for months on end. It was just crazy. So my kids knew to get the baby food out of my purse, and I had a spoon. Like Keithy would tell you, my mom ate baby food. Jason would tell you my mom ate baby food, right? So anyway, this person was friends with somebody, right? And I have no idea. I was having a nervous breakdown. I had 3 of them in my life, in that life. And when I was little, this happened to me too. Exactly. No, it happened to me as a child. When I was 4, I had to blend my food as well. I mean, my family had to blend my food because I couldn't eat either. So whatever it was back. And anyhow, after Keith died, Jason started to say, I can't swallow. I'm like, oh God, it's coming. It's gone over to him. So it's some kind of anxiety panic. But the weird thing was when I was eating lunch with this restaurant in Hollywood, and we were talking about the show. So they were grooming me to start doing guest appearances on different talk shows as a reader, as a psychic, as a metaphysical person, that kind of thing, right? And so this person was a best friends with somebody's wife. I'll just give you a hint. So the person's wife, I can't spare a square. This person's wife, okay, was friends with who I was talking to because they all did shows together. And of course, when you're in entertainment, you know everybody. Like when I went to this person's baby shower, there was just everybody was there in Hollywood. Everybody, because it's Paramount and it's Viacom and it's CBS and it's all of that, right? So you have a whole bunch of celebrities in these parties, and I was the family psychic person. So anyway, somebody after our lunch conversation went and wrote a book on how to lose weight by blending food. And I'm convinced it came from that luncheon conversation. How to blend your food to lose weight. I wasn't doing it to lose weight. I was trying to eat to gain weight, and I couldn't gain weight. So I was actually afraid I was starving to death because the hair was falling out of my head. So that's that's what was happening. But anything you said at a luncheon would be done. And we did our actually I did the Psychic Mom with Blue Book Films at the time, and they pitched it, and we were friends. And then one of the producers, her daughter died when we finished doing that. It was very sad. Her daughter was 30 and passed away. Anyway, it got stolen. So it literally got stolen, and somebody else was doing that shit. It's not uncommon, like Psychic Mom, right? So everybody I know is a Psychic Mom. Deanna's a Psychic Mom. We've all been Psychic Moms. My friend Mike, his mom was a Psychic Mom. So he grew up with a Psychic Mom. But it's just the fact that they took the, hold on. I have to look at this. I just got a text. Somebody interrupted me. Hold on. Oh, I got you. I sent a picture of Palm Springs, and somebody said it looks like a reality that they no longer know. Anyway, everything I said at any lunch in Hollywood, they take your shit and they write it down. And then, exactly, Psychic Grandma, Psychic Mom, Psychic this. I had people, writers from huge TV shows, talk shows that you watch every night, Carson's show, come over to the house, and they would take your story under the guise of like, we're going to sell your story, and then say, oh, you don't want to put your name on it. You don't want people to know it's you. And I'm like, do you think I'm fucking stupid and I want you to steal my fucking story? But this is how they talk to you. They write it out and they think they're going to sell it and make a TV show out of it using your backstory, right? Using your backstory, and then say to you, you don't want people to know you're psychic. Meanwhile, John's looking at them like, who doesn't know she's fucking doing this? They're in and out of the house all day long. Like, you know, oh, it's stealing. No, that's what they did. So when I started it happens. I'm not the only one. Dick Clark used to say, he can't say it because they'll steal from him. And he was Dick Clark, right? So that's what happens. So you have to really, Bobby knows. Bobby, you know this. Right. Well, I'll tell you this too. There were writers that called me, a very famous A&E show. There was writers that called me and they said, thank you for that. Thank you all for your donations. No, I've never had an agent. I don't use an agent. I don't want to be in anybody's contract. I show up on set. I do one-offs. I'm not bound by contract. It's actually who you know. I don't need to know an agent to do that. No, thanks. No, and I don't have a pimp either. So when I was a stripper, no pimps either. I just don't do it. And if I need a temporary lawyer, if I'm doing a contract, I get an entertainment lawyer to look over that contract who's a separate entity. And then I'll go into the deal for whatever it is. So, but now you can do your own stuff. So this is why I started, I can't do agents. I can't listen to them. And no, I'm not doing it. I wouldn't do it when I was dancing either. They had agents, man. And I would just show up at the clubs. And if the club owner wanted me to work, I would just go in and work. I'm going to stay here for 3 days or I may not. I just don't want to be contained. That's it. Have you looked at it? Oh yeah, no, I have lawyers who represent me when I'm doing it, but I'm not doing anything on TV. But this is my point. No, I just didn't want to be controlled. So when you're going through town, right? And this is driving me crazy. When you're going through town and you're selling stories and talking to people, you end up meeting the executives. When you meet the executives, they're the ones that push your projects through. So that's kind of how it works. It's not really the agents unless you're somebody like Regis Philbin and you've had an agent and they're basically taking money off you your whole life, 10% of every single thing you make. I'm not going to do that for a show where I'm doing a one-off or whatever, I'm going to pay a lawyer. Okay, I'm going to pay a lawyer. And if I need him to talk, I'm going to pay him to go negotiate for me. And that's what I'm going to do. Well, no, I just remember Regis talking about that. So that's the way I look at it. But my point was, if you have, and so I stopped talking at these at these lunches, right? I stopped talking because I just, oh, that's, yeah, under the guise of a pilot. Well, if you need my stories to write your pilot, then you need to pay me for my stories because they're not your fucking stories for you to get paid for. And here's another thing they do. There's a lot of people in Hollywood that do this. But what I was going to say first, I was going to say something totally separate. There's a huge TV show and they wanted to know how to end it. So ring, ring, I got your name from so-and-so. How would you end this show? And by God, I opened my mouth and they ended the show in a spiritual fashion. I was like, I wonder if they took that. Fuck them. But they do it. That's what they do. They take shit and they're like, this is, for me, it was the obvious ending is always going to be metaphysical or spiritual, or it's going to be complete gangster ghetto. But my point was the person we were talking about, or people, group of people, call them a group of entities that don't understand how money's gone. You can't steal the energy of money. Some people are born in this world. There's beautiful people. Let's use Anna Nicole Smith as one. She was born absolutely stunningly gorgeous. She is a beautiful creature, right? So people begrudge her that. They begrudge her that because they think that they should have that. Well, Anna Nicole, actually, I know, Jackie, you did. And Bobby knew Anna too. Bobby and I had a conversation, and Jackie, she's beautiful. She was absolutely stunning. The reason that people didn't like her, okay, the reason people didn't like her is because she was born beautiful. This person we're talking about who feels the need to tell somebody what they should earn, and if you're successful, you should be doing it for free, does not understand, right, that money is reciprocation. So money is reciprocal. It's an energy in and out. It's not a status thing. And people who are born beautiful, that's a karma thing. People who have a gift, that's their gift. You have your gift, do your gift. But don't be freaking telling people what they should and shouldn't make. Do you know what kind of an asshole you are when you say that? You are a real asshole. It's just actually, oh no, it's obviously jealous, and it's bizarre because just equate that type of personality to somebody who's running a business and jealous. They're going to be jealous of women who are married. They're going to be jealous of, people who are good looking. They're going to be jealous of people who have cats and dogs, or 3 children, not 2 children. Or they're envious and covetous. That is going to block your money. That's going to block your money. You're not going to make money when you're like that. On this planet, that's the currency. If you don't have the currency of money, which and I will tell you this, when I started off doing my work, when I met John, because my first husband didn't like the psychic stuff and definitely wasn't going to have people in the house and, whatever. But John was okay with it. He wasn't okay with it, but we had enough space where he's like, yeah, you can have them down there. But Keith and Jason, I told you, used to fling themselves out the upstairs window and crawl down on their bed sheets rather than say hi to the people sitting at my kitchen table, which was their kitchen table. But our whole life, even on winter vacation, you go and you read people, right? So there's Ashley. Yeah, you go and you read people, right? So just imagine in the beginning, I used to have a client, and this is going back years. Keithy might have been 1.5, 3, something like that. But I used to have a client. She was a working girl. She did out calls for, whoever wanted to pay her for whatever the hell that they wanted to pay her for. Sex, I'm talking. And so it was funny. She would come over and she was really hell-bent on like quoting the Bible and quoting this. And I'll never forget it. She would come over. She would go, a lot of my clients go into my fridge, grab some food. This is how it worked for me, okay? Grab some food. She would sit down. She was always like a little bit coming down, being strung out. She was a young woman. She was probably, well, if I was like under 30 then, she was probably like 19 or 20 or 23 or whatever. And she would call me every time she got into jail. she would call me and I would get up and go and get her out of jail for, you know, it was prostitution and shit. But with my clients, that's what we do. So that's like how it works. It's not I run my business myself. So when people don't get emails back, they're like, oh, I didn't think you'd answer. I thought you'd have an assistant. I don't have an assistant because I don't want an assistant because I'd have to commit to the work. So I'll do the work when I feel like doing the work, but I'm not going to do the work and have an assistant if I don't want to do the work all the time, if you get what I'm saying. So I've always done it myself. That's what I like to do myself. I don't want a whole bunch of people you know, I don't want to be a big, huge conglomeration. That's not my definition of success. My definition of success is physically being able to hike in the morning and do the things that I love to do, which is hiking. There you go. I know, Bobby, right? Right. Exactly. So I don't want that. And people are always like, they always get so bitchy on the emails. This one got so bitchy on the email. And well, no, so couched it nicely, but very passive aggressive. But you've got to watch. We've all got to watch people like that, because if they say stuff and it's covetous and they tell you what you should or shouldn't be making, their intention is not good for you. And I'm talking in our personal lives, in all of our personal lives, okay? In everybody's personal life. If people start telling you that you shouldn't be getting that for what you do, it's very, very wrong. They don't have your best interest at heart. And you can't really judge success. You need to ask the person what they consider successful. Okay, so it's not this, how do I word this? My work, I've done my work my whole life. So that does not make me successful or not. This is how I've earned a living. This is what I chose to do. Some people choose to be waitresses. Some people choose to drive cabs. Some people choose to be massage therapists. Some people choose to be hairdressers. This is what I chose to do. I don't consider it successful or not. It's just the only way I know how to make money to live on the earth. So it is my job. Okay. Now, astrology and hiking are passions for me. But the job that I do day to day, I like it. And I like it the way that I like, you know, to do it. But, I don't know that I consider it successful. Successful is if you, to me, if I'd have learned early on how to raise my children without, there were times where it was pretty crazy for them in the house. So if I'd have learned not to do that, if I learned not to take what people say to heart, if I'd learned to be nicer and realize it doesn't really matter what's going on around you. So these are things that I consider successful. At the end of my life, my success comes from people I've helped and comes from what I've been able to do. That's what I do. So that's how I see my success. And truthfully, if I can like climb higher mountain peaks, that's also a form of physical success for me, because my true passion was like to be an athlete. So you can't really say if someone's successful. The outward appearance of success is not necessarily, it's only what society says is successful. Society says if you have a Porsche and you have a big house and you have this, I don't have that. So is that successful? The most successful things that I did in my life, I would honestly say this, I will tell you exactly the labels. I would say to you, honestly, one of the most successful things I've done in my life was when my mind told me to tell Keith I was sorry I wasn't a good mom to him, and that I did that 6 months before he died. I listened to that and I apologized to him for what I felt to be bad parenting on my part. And then he said, you were a good mom, and gave me a hug. That is probably one of the most successful moments of my life. And then also giving birth to my children, the most successful moments of my life. So for me, those are my successes. The rest of this, which unfortunately I focused on because I assumed my son would be here always. So I kind of, you know, pushed my kids over here and tried to climb the success ladder, which I never obtained. I did not have my own TV show. I did not get where I was going. And that's what I wanted in my life. But then I didn't care. And then Keithy said, just do your YouTube and no one cares. Like, just do it and it's okay, right? So he was right. But for me, having my children and having them naturally was my greatest accomplishment. There's really never anything else I've done that's as great an accomplishment as that, okay? And my Keith being such a good person before his death at his service and having the homeless people in the park come up and seeing his picture and then say the good things that Keithy did for them, these people that we didn't know, but that saw his picture and said what happened to him. He was always here. He spoke to us. So that was an accomplishment. And I'm not even that person who made him do that. Keithy did that on his own. So just to have given birth to that child and to Jason is my accomplishment. Those are my accomplishments. I have nothing when I leave this place. Anything else doesn't compare to that. And that's the truth. Like, I realized that at Keith's service, the amount of kindness that he expelled into the world was a beautiful thing. So that it really doesn't matter about anything else. This is a byproduct because, and I'll tell you why. I told you guys, I gave up on my life in 2017. I became completely like, I'm never going to get anywhere or do anything, what I thought was important until my son died. And then I realized what I was focused on was completely wrong. So when we focus on money in the way that is, the way that idea of like, you're successful, you should do everything for free, to focus on things like that is not the real value. My son was my real value. My Jason is my real value. Those are my real values. My friends, those are my real values now. And I recognized I wasted so much time trying to be something in my career out of my need to be acknowledged. That's the truth. I'm talking about when the kids grew up. Yes, no, we're programmed to want it. It's just a distraction because Keith and Jason were my life. There's nothing else I really have to talk about other than these kids. Like, they participated in every aspect of my life. They filmed on every set I filmed on. One of those kids was in my stomach, or they were in diapers beside me, or they were breastfeeding in the green room with me. Any video I shot, my children were with me. So my whole life is about my children. That is what my life was about. So it's interesting that people perceive it differently out of their own, whatever the fuck that is. So just be careful of people like that don't have your best interest, and they can smile to your face, but be very careful, because if they undermine your sense of what you're doing to make you feel guilty because it's something in them, it's not a good thing. Remember, money is reciprocal. You will get what you need. I mean, there were times when our kids were growing up that we did not have what we needed at all. There was a time when we went for dinner with somebody, and that person was a wealthy person who never considered money at dinner. We were paying our half of the dinner, and I don't drink, as you know, so I didn't order wine, but one of us did. That would be Johnny. Anyhow, the wine bill came out to more than over half our mortgage at that time. And it was like, you are just fucking stunned when you have to give. We didn't have the money for that, but do you see what I'm saying? Like, sometimes people don't have money for a sandwich, but they get out there and they've got to pay. They have to pay something. They don't have it. So there's time. Everybody goes up and down. Everybody goes up and down. Marilyn Monroe died with less than $5,000 in her bank account. That's Marilyn Monroe. Okay, Elvis, the same shit, unless his wife didn't brand and license his likeness. That's what happened right there. So seriously, Elvis died with he had that house and less than $5,000. Now, still, $5,000 is a shit ton of money today. A lot of people don't have that. But Marilyn didn't have it at the end of her death, and neither did Elvis, okay? So Priscilla was the one that turned they're called legacy lawyers. She turned his legacy into a money-making pursuit. So she turned him into a business. But he didn't have it when he left, and he was indebted. Some people die with a shit ton. Judy Garland, exactly. So when people go, you're successful, you just want to punch them in the face. What the fuck does that mean? Money goes. People got to pay their mortgages. They got kids to pay. They got grandbabies. They got dental, eyeglasses, food money, relatives, parents, and so people make judgments and it's disgusting. So they got to stop making your judgment. When I'm talking about Michael Jackson died, they took his, what's that, Neverland? They took that over, didn't they? Didn't somebody just buy that? Oh, of course, Judy Garland's husband. You mean the gay men she married that she thought, remember that one guy? She's like, he's not gay. You know who I'm talking about, that guy, the last guy she married, totally like, it's like, no, it was Liza Minnelli married him. Sorry, not Judy Garland, but Judy Garland did that. And Liza Minnelli did that. And they both did that. But yeah, Michael Jackson was broke. You're basically broke. It's a legacy. It's a legacy. So they can make money off the person. They can make more money off the person dead than they can alive. But be very careful in our society. David Guest, yeah, that guy. That was Liza though, not the mom. Yeah, I was like, when she did that kiss on TV, I was like, oh no, what's going on? And when it comes to certain celebrities that I mentioned and what goes on, there's certain things I've seen in the background. I've been here 35 years. I've run into a lot of people. I've read a lot of people. I've lived in Los Angeles 35 years. So there's shit I see. I've been in the television industry, not successfully, but I've been in the television industry. A lot of my friends are in the television industry. My son is in the television industry. So we know things. It's just you see things. So there you go. And the other thing I would like to say, and that I'm dropping the subject, is when people are at dinner parties, and let's say you're talking about, I don't know, football. You're talking about football at a dinner party. And somebody says, well, you shouldn't be doing this because you wore a purple shirt and you have 2 houses. And they're totally inserting their opinion into something else, right? Into something else. And then they're saying, it's my opinion and I want to be strong and you told us to be strong. First of all, no one asked your opinion, okay? So if I ask your opinion and you state your opinion, that's fine. If we're talking about a subject and you say your opinion, that's fine. But if you start talking about my finances and we're not talking about that, no one asked your motherfucking opinion. So that's also there. And that's also a thing. Don't interject your opinion on this channel about something unrelated to the topic we're talking about because you're a jealous bitch, okay? So don't do that. Learn or educate yourself on the flow of money, which it's like breathing air. I don't get up in the morning. Now, a person with breathing problems may get up in the morning and do this. Most of us do not get up in the morning and go, I wonder if I'm going to breathe. Do you think I'm going to breathe? Will I breathe? Should I be breathing tonight? I don't think that way. I just assume air is going to come to me and I'm going to breathe, right? So the same thing should be thought about money. You should assume that you are going to get the money you need to do the things that you need to do, okay? And also, and just I'll bring it up. Well, Jackie's here. Jackie's a grown-ass woman, and she can choose to do what she wants with her money. That Leona Helmsley donated all of her millions to her cat and her butler, I think. And she left it to a cat shelter. You can leave your money to any person you want and you can choose what to do. It's actually insulting to tell someone how to spend their money. If I want to buy Starbucks, I'm a grown-ass woman. I can go buy Starbucks. If I want to buy grapes, I can buy grapes. If I want to buy 6 black tops or 20 black tops, more like it, I can do that without being, or Jimmy Choo's. I can't walk in those Jimmy Choo's shoes. They're really pretty, but I can't walk in them. Oh my God. My feet are screaming right now as you say that. You know what I do? Okay, here's a tip, ladies. So in Hollywood, all these beautiful women go for their auditions, right? And they're so gorgeous. Like they're tall and beautiful. And then there's the psychics that go around town, and we're like a discombobulated bunch of people falling out of our cars, dressing in our cars after we come from working out. Because every time I go to these meetings, when I was having anxiety, I'd be running in the mountains. I'd be wearing bike shorts. I would stop at my car, You put sunglasses on your head, and I would use diaper wipes to wash my feet. This is seriously how I showed up on red carpet events and shit like that. I would use diaper wipes under my arms, under that, perfume in my hair, bike shorts underneath my skirts. It's always hot. Okay, sweaty bra on, throw another top over it. Take one bra off, because I wear 2 bras running. Not that anybody cares. But anyway, that's just to keep everything wherever. So leave the underneath bra on. Take the other one off so I can breathe. Put on a tank top. Put on a little shirt underneath, over top of it. Sunglasses. Put my makeup on in the car. I would literally do this. Flip-flops on my feet. Flip-flops on my feet. Run across the lot. Okay, because these lots are huge. They're like Vegas lots. Run across the lot with, I have a huge purse, because the purse would cover, because I would wear mini skirts. So my big, huge purse would cover, like getting, if I flashed my ass or whatever. Not really. They were a little bit above my knees, but I had a huge purse, so I could always run with that. I had 6-inch shoes in my purse, you know, some color, orange, red, whatever, because then I'd be all in black, sunglasses, that, and a red purse, orange purse, whatever. I would get in the elevator. I'd hit the button to go up. And in the elevator, no matter who was in the elevator, did not matter. I stuck a breath mint in, could be full of people. I threw those flip-flops back in my purse, pulled out the high heels, and stepped off the elevator like, hi, like that. Fucking mess in the parking lot, okay? Just a freaking fucking mess going through the lot in flip-flops. And that's how you do it. You cannot walk around in those shoes. I love them, but oh my God, I'd sprain an ankle, then I couldn't go running. So that's what I would do. That's really what I did. I literally diaper wipe my feet, and it got to be such a joke because I would wear those, they're the easiest things to walk in. The wedge shoes from Jessica Simpson. They're like 6-inch wedges, but they're cork. And so you could see my heels, and I would see people looking because I'd forget to get the dirt off my heels because it's so dirty. So I constantly had like a brown dirt rash around my heels. Fucking hilarious. So all my shoes have like dirt, right? Anyway, or I would wear like real lady shoes, proper shoes where they had the heel closed and you could still see a little band of dirt there. But that's what I would do. And then I'd thank everybody. I'd say really great. As I walked back into the elevator, they walk you to the elevator, they push the button. I'd be like, bye, it was really nice meeting everybody. In the elevator, off came those shoes and on came the flip-flops. And I literally was ripping my skirt off, putting on running shoes when I got to the car and back out in order to go running again because I had such anxiety. That's literally what I did. Yeah, so that's literally, don't wear your shoes across the parking lot because you'll be so sore and so sorry. The other things too, you can do a lot of things. I'm gonna teach you this. This is, I found, okay, so people always go, your eye makeup looks really good when you're running. So if I know I'm getting up early to run, I'm sleeping in this makeup. Yes, I know they say it's bad, but look at it this way. If you don't wash off all your makeup, then you're not drying out your skin. My shoes are an 8. If they're closed-toed, no, I'm sorry. If they're closed-toed, they're an 8.5. If they're open, like the Jessica Simpson shoes, they're an 8. But my foot is a 7.5, so I run too much. I guess I spread my feet out, whatever. But if you are in an elevator and you have to freshen up, literally, I leave the eyeliner base on and then just get your blush, put your blush here and put your blush in the crease of your eyes. Literally do that, put your blush like that. And you can even put it on your lips. There's some blush you can do all 3, just do that. I'm all about what's easy. I throw everything in a plastic bag and I have a big, huge purse where I do that. Anxiety. I take drugs and drink. No, I tried not to do that. I was always running. But that's what I do. I'm all about like low maintenance. I may look like I'm always put together, but I'm not. That's why I have short hair. I don't have to wash it every day. I literally don't have to use shampoo on my hair. I just have to get it wet and dry it 5 seconds and that's it. It's easy. I can't do a whole bunch of whatever. Clothes, everything is black tank tops. I do not wear underwire bras unless it's a real special occasion. Like in 2010, I did the, oh my God, what is it coming up this month? The Golden Globes. I wore a wire bra for Golden Globes. So I did that because I was on the carpet for that. yeah, fit flop shoes. Exactly. You can fucking book in those things too. My friend wears those. But yeah, so I will sleep with makeup on, like when I'm getting up. Thank you for that. Thank you, you guys. Thank you all for what you do, truthfully. Thank you. If I'm going to go run in Palm Springs and I've got to get up at 1 in the morning to drive there to meet my friends, when I go with Maya, I pick Maya up and then we meet David there because he lives closer to Palm Springs. Anyway, so when we go, I'm waking up like this. I don't have time to put my makeup on at 1 or 12:30 in the afternoon. I don't have time. So I do this, and then what I carry is one lip liner, but I use the lip liner that I can put on my cheeks and there, and then one eyeliner, and that's it. Coconut oil. Oh, coconut oil breaks you out. That's a good secret when you bleach your hair. So if you're bleaching your roots, like you can see here, the two-tone, this, I have to re-bleach. Anyway, you put the coconut oil on the ends of your hair so the bleach does not get on that. And that actually stops it from over processing the bleach. And then I don't use argan oil. And then I put the coconut oil on my hair after I bleach. Okay, so I soak it for 20 minutes and use a teeny bit of shampoo because I have straight white girl hair. The black community's been using coconut oil for years in their hair. And it's absolutely fantastic because it actually mends the end of your hair. So, but I have white girl straight hair, so with a little bit of a wave and a weird spot. So tea tree oil, okay, tea tree oil is great, not on your hair, but tea tree oil is great. It's very, aren't wrinkles about the sun? Yeah, wrinkles are about the sun. I'm in the sun a lot. I have weird colored skin. It's whatever. If you're going in the sun, you're going to be in the sun. I do wear a hat. Tea tree oil is great. Tea tree oil is great. Like it's good for everything, but it's good in products. I wouldn't use straight tea tree oil, like for brushing your teeth and stuff, but it's really great. But I do everything. My thing is just literally, and that's what Keithy told me with this video. I have permanent wrinkles too. You can see them. You can see them. I have these lines here. I have a very thin face, so I have this that lines here. I don't put anything in on my face. I don't use any kind of fillers. I never have. I don't use anything on my face. Olive oil and no, I really don't use anything in my face. I love rosemary oil. Tea tree oil is great for that. But yeah, I've never touched my face because I'm afraid to touch my face. I won't say I won't touch my face. I'm just afraid to right now because no. Anyway, yeah, but and even, by the way, I wanted to I have melasma when I was pregnant. I have melasma and I have dark, like, I literally have Irish skin. You just can't see it because I have lights on me. So remember, when you take a picture, lights are important. But this right here, the brown from the sun, like I'm all brown, like under my jaw, there's brown. Because the sun, by the way, you wear a baseball cap out, guess where the sun hits? Right here. So you need to wear one of those ugly floppy hats. So I wear my baseball cap over that. Maya and I go out and she's like fucking laughs, okay? She's like, my God. So I put a big, thick, like those gardener hats. That's the only way you can go through the desert, okay? I've got the Irish skin too. However, I wanted to go get the lasers, take it off, like actually do the laser and take it off. However, I was told not to do that while I'm still out in the sun because you have to stay out of the sun basically for the rest of your life, or the freckles come back twice as bad once you laser them off. So I can't do that right now because I literally have to go out and I'm going to hit the sun. If you're hiking for 5 or 6 hours, no, yeah, no lasers. No, I did for the melasma here about 15 years ago. I had it so bad right here. It was terrible. So bad. Do you know what the best thing is? No matter, yeah, I've never done a chemical peel. I have never done that. You know what I did do? This is what I did do. But yes, a blend with, but see, with Retin A, you've got to watch in the sun. I can't use it either. I can't use it because of the sun. It just, I don't bikini wax. Sorry to disappoint everyone. I don't care. Once you're married, why do you care about the bikini? Do men really care about that? No. I mean, if you want to wax your bikini and you wear a bikini, good for you. I don't care. So I'm not wearing a bikini and I don't fucking care. Like, if you don't like it, don't go down there. um, yeah, no, I don't wax. I shave everywhere. I shave under. I've always shaved. It's just that way. If I feel like shaving, what if I don't want anybody near me? Then I'm not going to use Nair. Why would I use Nair? That seems like it might burn the fuck out of you. Yeah, if I don't want you near there, I'm not shaving. And I'm French. There you go. And men are men. Men ain't turning away anything. They're really not. So yeah, melasma's from hormones. It's definitely. I got the melasma right here. Like when I got pregnant with Keith, it was just like right here. Yeah, I don't use Nair. I never use Nair. I'm a hippie. There you go. I'm not really. I'll shave myself. But here's the thing, societally, yeah, you can wax if you want. I don't care what people do. I mean, when they're asking my opinion, when everybody can do, yeah, totally, do whatever's good. I know the younger generation literally shaves everything, including the guys. And I'm like, I can't handle a guy. Like, if you don't have some hair somewhere, I like, get away from me. It's way like, whatever. It's just way too, I don't know what to say about that. You maybe should put some hair on your body. I actually like some hair. You don't have to be like a hairy weirdo. But actually, if you're with a guy and he has hair, why should he have to shave all his hair off? Oh, yeah, I know. When they shave down, you know why? Because the pedophile, oh, I'm not allowed to say that word. Anyway, just think about it this way. In the 70s, if you look at porn in the 70s, not that I'm looking at porn from the 70s, if you look at people from the 70s, right, they had hair and everything. And then suddenly they raised generations of people to shave off all their hair. So who has no hair on their body? Prepubescent females and males. So now everybody's running around so they can see better without anything. I don't know. I personally think you should have some hair. If you're a guy, I mean, girls, do whatever you want. I don't know. I'm not a guy. I'm not looking at women's things, whatever. But no, I like hair on men. Yeah, of course. I mean, come on. And they all worry about losing their hair on their head, but they want to shave it off their... It's like, I'm sorry, if you're upset with having no hair here, maybe you should look down there and put the fucking hair down there, right? Like, come on. I'm just saying. I mean, without giving away my married secrets, people got hair, you know? I mean, it depends. I don't know what's going on. Like, it's just, the saddest thing is when I see little girls that are from different cultures, little kids, little, 5 or 6 year old girls, and they already are talking about how hairy they are, and they're just little girls. And it's like, I really feel sorry for us. Well, they say vanity, but kids make fun of people in school. They make fun of people all the time, right? It's really sad, but little kids, like if you're from a country where the hair is darker, I'm Irish, so I have tons of hair on, well, I can't even see it. So you can't see it because it's not really, I can see it right here. I can see it. I can see it, right? But whatever. Harry, there we are with my favorite emoji, the eggplant. The eggplant. There we are. But yeah, I mean, people do what they're going to do. People, I don't know about women having mustaches. The fucking craziest thing I've ever seen is that wrestler that just said that he is now transitioning into a woman. Let's see, the Kings of Turkey, and they were all hairless. Yeah, I can't handle those hairless dogs. That's upsetting to me, those little hairless dogs. They're always shivering like this. I'm like, ooh, they're hairless. Thank you for that. Thank you. Yeah, my glasses are Guess factory glasses. They're the Guess aviators. And I go to the outlet mall and I grab a bunch when I'm there. That's what I do. Unless I get thrown out of that store too, because, the hairless cats. Yeah, they scare me. It's the hairless cats. They scare me. I'm like, put some hair on them. I feel like putting a little bonnet on those little hairless cats. Don't you think they would look super cute with, it's a cat that I was talking about. Wouldn't they look super cute with a little red bonnet on and it's tied up under their little chins? I know it's what do they call the hairless cats? They're like a certain kind of cat, and I forget that. But She feels like a warm peach. She wears clothes. See, cute. She should have clothes because she's hairless. A sphinx. Yes, there. Thank you. I was trying to think of that. So cute. I know. I wish I had less hair on my body. But see, I do think it's about that. The P word. Hairless cat in a cardigan. But men worry about losing the hair on their head. So they're going to shave it off their, you know what? Why? At least you got hair down there, right? Right. Hello. Jeez. We're talking about, I can't even. I know hairless cats are terrible. They are I'm kind of scared of the hairless cats. But they're cute. I love all animals. But men need some hair. Yeah, I don't know. I don't care about sorry, I have my phone charging, so I have to turn my of course I lock myself out every time. Yeah, manscaping. I don't know. Men are, you know what I hate? No offense to any man that does it. I seriously cannot look at men with arched eyebrows like women. I'm like, oh my God, stop that. I love like full eyebrows on a man's face, like real I wish I'd never taken mine off because I'm penciling them and they never grow back. But I love full eyebrows on like the actual nice, like you can shave a little bit here. But yeah, I don't like arched, like what the fuck are you doing to your eyebrows? You look crazy. Stop that, please. I mean, unless you're being a drag queen or something, but, I can't, I'm like, oh my God. Yes, I know I overplucked too. And that's what I'm saying. And I pencil them in and no matter what I do, and then you have to get the right color on them. It's such a problem. It's such a problem. Wait, it's a sign of dominance in a sexy way. What? Shaving the eyebrows? Overdoing the eyebrows? I don't know. Pluck on, pluck off. Pluck on, pluck off. Totally. I know, right? I'm sorry. I'm in a crazy mood. I'm in a crazy mood. I have to be serious. Yeah. Okay. See, people are still asking if I'm doing readings. I haven't been able to work. I've been doing a few readings for a few people I know that are there, but I really haven't been able to work because I can do like one person a week. That's all the energy I have. So I'm doing other things that I can do. Yes. Oh, Tom Brady. Yeah, I don't know what to say. Men stop. You know what? I never throw a man out of my bed. Not many men come to my bed, but the ones that do, I'm not going to throw out. So who are we kidding here? If you like somebody, you like them, right? If you like somebody, you like them. So it shouldn't matter. Yeah, no, I haven't been reading. I can't really read after Keith. I know, I don't feel like doing it. I'm sorry. So I have other things I'm focusing on. I'm trying to take my career in a different direction with my astrology classes, which this week on Tuesday, we are filming all week. So I can't do the readings and do the classes because it takes a lot of my energy. So, and I keep saying I'm filming and then I get sidetracked with shit, right? No, I literally can't. I can't. My energy drains. It takes a lot of energy to actually read and read correctly. And I've got to feel like it's okay. So, whatever. Yeah, no, I've got, what do you mean? Sniffing bath salts or making bath salts? Yeah, I'm doing the Coast to Coast with Richard. I love Richard. He's got his 3 shows. And so that's very exciting. I'm not really a tarot reader. I do it for fun. I'm not well skilled at tarot. Astrology, I'm very well skilled at. So astrology is like, I love astrology. It's something I love. And I have been doing the astrology readings, the taped readings where I tape your chart and do it. But other than that, I'm not really able to function, really. I function, but a lot of times I crawl back into bed and I'm upside down. So I do function. I'm trying to meditate and just get better that way. So yeah, I haven't been able to really do the things that I want to do. So, and there is a lot of pressure to be a reading. Now, it's interesting because I know that there's people out there that think differently about psychics, but a lot of times when you're reading, yes, you get paid, but a lot of times throughout my career, there's people who need information and you're not going to get paid. They're going to exchange stuff. So like I said, I've done readings for purses. I've done readings for clothes. I've done readings just for cookies. I've done readings for all kinds of things. So it's a little bit different. I could never do a lot of readings in a week because it would be like 2 or 3 readings a day and sleep for 3 hours, get up another reading, sleep for another 3 hours. And that's what happens to me. So especially when they used to come and sit in person in front of me, it's very draining, and it's not anybody's fault. It just is. So that's just, I almost can do work. Like if somebody said, come to my house and help me clean out the garage, I could do that for 10 hours a day, the physical work. And I did. I redid my house with Johnny, and we did the floors and we did the scraping and the sanding, and I could go out hiking and I could come back and do that. That's what I could do. But the reading is very draining. And sometimes it would be, when I did the parties, because remember I told you, well, I don't know, I told you about the parties, but they hire you, and so you're reading for 5 hours. You're doing a reading every 15 minutes for 5 hours or whatever. Now, you made eggplant. Now, I can't eat your eggplant, Bobby, because now I'm thinking of sex when I see the eggplant emoji. Which you didn't mean it that way. It's my filthy mind. But yeah, the wrap parties at Christmas where you could make enough money to pay your bills at Christmas because 3 or 4 people that produce shows would hire you. So you would just do those parties, right? It would take me sometimes 3 days to a week to recover from that because I couldn't even function. I could not get out of bed the next day. People don't know that, but the energy of taking on everybody's stuff, I literally couldn't. So I would lose time. So I even stopped doing parties because I wanted to go hiking, and that's it. I wanted to go hiking, and that was that. Seriously, I couldn't do it. So I would literally be debilitated to the point of being in tears when my kids were growing up at times. I'd have to get up and do that. And that's just the way that it would be for me. So yeah, that's what would happen. That would be a problem. So yeah, when you're reading them, because in order to read you, actually when you're sitting in front of me, when there's somebody sitting, in order to read you, I go into your energy, okay? I could never read all day. It just wiped me out. It just wiped me out. But I would go into your energy, and therefore, unfortunately, I would take that back out. And so I had a lot of people in my house. As I said, people came in and out all day. I had bills to pay and kids to do, so I learned how to do it. But, when I was free from that, I was like, it takes me, for years and years, it's been 38 years. So when Keith died, this is the weird thing. When Keithy died, I had taken that week off to film my astrology videos, actually. And then he died, and I didn't get 1 ounce of peace. I just went straight into work again, but on Keith stuff. So I didn't sleep. I could barely, I can't even, it's like my energy was being sucked out of my back, and I just didn't sleep more than 4 hours for 3 months after Keith died. And I was dealing with everybody and still talking. And then I had to fulfill clients that had already taken the money. So it was very hard. So I stopped. That's why I wasn't taking readings. So I can't. I have to be able to do it the way that I have to be able to do it. That's it. So I have to do what I have to do. But yeah. It's a difficult thing. I think a lot of psychics, it's not that it's a bad thing. It's just, it's hard physically. Yeah, there you go. That's exactly it. Exactly. Takes a lot of energy. It just, yeah, it does. It takes a lot of energy. Wait, I just saw Brad Pitt is whatever. How do we, well, I'll have to tell you when I make sure I film them, because seems like a lot of less stress. I don't even know what you mean there, but yeah, it's just, the life of a psychic is not an easy life. Anyone who's psychic knows that, who really does the work, okay? I did the work. I didn't, I just took people every day. I got a little bit out of control on this because people booked it all up real quick, and then I'm like, I can't do it. I don't do Skype. I'm not doing Skype. I don't want to do Skype. I don't want to, no. And record the videos and record them prior. I don't think I want to do Skype or talk like that. No. Because then people, no. Yeah, they want you on Skype. I don't want to do that. Anyway, yeah, no dairy and lymph drainage. Exactly. You should be praying and giving good vibes. Yeah, no, what people do. People are trying to be nice. But let's see. Yeah, that's it. 98 truth now. Yeah, no, I'm just doing the best I can do, which is all you can do. So, but I find it funny. Everybody's been so nice. This channel is the best channel. I don't know about other people's channels, to tell you the truth. But everybody's real nice. But a lot of people are, yeah, it's weird. A lot of, I mean, the ones that are wicked on here are wicked. It's like, why don't you go fuck off and be wicked somewhere else? That's one thing I'm not tolerating anymore. If you say stupid shit, you got to go somewhere else. Get off my channel. And that's what's so weird. If I don't want to go into Nordstrom's to shop, then I don't go into Nordstrom's to shop. Like, why would you go into Nordstrom's if you don't want to be there? So don't be there, right? Isn't that right? Right. Exactly. I know, right? It's, no, everybody's so nice. And then there's, yeah, they are snarky. That's a good word. Snarky snarkersons. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I don't know a good online pharmacy because I don't go to the pharmacy. But yeah, no, it's weird. It's just weird. But yeah, I do Reiki actually. Reiki I like. It's just I do distance Reiki. You know what I want to learn actually? It'll probably like suck the life out of me. But what 2 words in one finger. I know, 2 for the price of 1. You know what I really want to learn? I really want to learn how to do, it's not really past life regression. It is, but it's a particular technique. Now I can't remember, Michael Newton did to regress people back. I do the laying on of hands. Yeah. It's yes, Reiki master, me too. And I do Reiki sometimes. But I want to do what Michael Newton did when he talked about regressing people back to their lifetimes in between lifetimes. That's what I want to do. This is an ombre. This is a clear, no, not clear. It's a pink and white ombre. That's what I want to do. I want to learn how to do that. I kind of want to do the work in a different way. So I want to take on a different way of doing the work. When I started out doing this work, I worked as a volunteer for, thank you for that, you guys, for everybody. I worked as a volunteer for abused kids in shelters, and I started teaching them astrology and doing psychic work. And I love to work with the kids, the teenagers, because we would talk about their boyfriends, they're this, they're that, they're, you know, all of that. And I would teach them their charts. So that's something I really like to do. You know, that's kind of where I started. So little kids, I've been doing that my whole life. I've been doing that all my life, actually, over 35 years. So that's something I've done. Worked with the shelters, worked with the kids. That's what I did. Taught them how to eat right, taught them how to know their astrology, taught them anything they could to give them strength in this world. That was kind of just what I did. So yeah, I like the little kids. Rascal Lila knows her astrology. All little kids, I like to teach their astrology. That I do. So I like the little kids to do it. I really love astrology. So if you can do that, it's a good thing. Psychics are givers for the most part. There's a couple of crazies out there, but you also have to understand. You have to understand that when you're doing readings, like you can get overwhelmed from it. So it can happen. It can definitely happen. Definitely. Yeah, shelter kids. Yeah, it's very challenging. I was a shelter kid. So for me, the only place I've ever really felt at home, truthfully, was working with those kids because I was one of those kids. So I was a street kid and I was in the sex industry. So for me, when they're talking about it, I feel I wanted to give them power because you don't have to always be on drugs and you don't always have to put out sexually to get what you want in life. You don't have to do that. So that was, there you go. It's the only place, I mean, it's weird. It's weird because people assume from the way you look, right? They assume, I'm adopted as well. They assume you look a certain way. If you don't have tattoos and you have like a certain look, I don't know, whatever it is, whatever, Irish, call it that, whatever. They assume that you are a particular way. And it's like, no, I'm literally the way you are. You're just assuming from the way I look. And, no. And in fact, that is why, yeah, no, I would show up and I look like the girl next door, the mom next door, a typical mom. No, I got like, I literally felt at home with those kids in the shelter. I never felt at home, like literally, in the PTA and being one of those people and never. I don't. Like if you got to have a little bit of street, a little bit of ghetto. I don't look it. I look like a white chick. This is what's so funny. Yeah, it's what's so funny, but I know I love my kids when they were little, my little rascals. My kids were street too. They're not all, Keith was the same way. Keith transcended a little bit more than Jason. Jason has a good group of friends, of different kind of friends, but it always shocked me. And I will tell you this. Keith was little, when he was little, 12. These kids would come knocking on the door. And I mean, they look like the kids look like they're, my eyes twitching again. When I talk about Keith, I go twitch. But when I couldn't do PTA, I want to beat the shit out of them. I couldn't do that. Like there's something wrong with me. I can't do that. But these kids would knock at the door. Okay. So we lived across the street. We lived in several places. We lived in a nice neighborhood in Burbank. And then I blew that up when Jimmy died. I didn't want to live in the house that he was raised in. So I moved us up to Santa Clarita, and then that house sold. We went to Santa Clarita, and we didn't buy up there, but we lived in a place, and it was too Stepford wife-ish for me. Like everybody was like a Stepford wife. It was too white flight-ish. I couldn't do it. I needed a little bit more, yes, a Stepford wife. And all the streets, like, you can't do a U-turn because there's meridians everywhere. It's like, I can't fucking make my mind up. I need to be able to do a U-turn in the middle of the street. I'm one of those. I got to be able to go somewhere. So anyway, we came back closer to Burbank, but we couldn't get into our neighborhood. We couldn't buy back in. Prices went out. So like when we sold low and then to have to buy in high, right? So anyway, we bought close, but we lived across the street from literally, I want to say, well, gangs. There were gangs, straight up gangs, okay? And I didn't know it when we bought the house. So we lived across kind of from a projects that were full of people that we want to say were in very serious valley gangs, gang bangers, gang members, whatever. So Keithy would be, he wouldn't be home from school yet, and there'd be a knock on the door, and there'd be this huge kid from a gang. And this kid would be standing at the door, and Keithy was like a little white boy, and these kids were not, and just big and like grown men at Keith's age. I didn't even know how old these kids were. And I'd be like, they go, is Keith there? And I'd try to be like normal parent. And I'd be like, yeah, why? And they'd be like, when he'd come home, he'd be like, oh, these are my friends. And out he would go. He had friends of every color, every race, everything. Okay. Everything that he had. I was shocked at the people that all races, every single race, every ethnicity, every financial aptitude, everything. So Keith was one of those people that really transcended. I think I even put up walls worse than Keith. Like Keith was just really unbelievably connected to, like there were people in my house. You can't, I mean, I was just like, okay, whatever. I'm just like, and I will tell you the nicest thing that I found out, but I found this out, I don't know why I'm talking about this right now. I found this out after Keith died. So anyway, Keith had a friend, I've mentioned him on here. Well, no, this is a gang neighborhood. Like people are shot. I told you after Keith died, this is no joke, in broad daylight, after Keith died, I was going by the house, and there's two entrances into our house, our street. Okay, so it's like a cul-de-sac, but you can drive a circle. So the houses, I go up the street and turn left, okay, and go that way, and then around. Our house was by the other entrance, and then I go out. This day when I left our house, I think I went to see Tulip or whatever, and it was, so we had Keith's service. Yeah, it was 2 days after Keith's service, or the day after Keith's service. We had Keith's service on August 13th. So it was the next day, and it was just before my birthday or something like that. Or the day after my birthday, I think. Yeah, the day after my birthday. So it was about 4 o'clock in the afternoon, and I'm not even joking you with this. This is the neighborhood, not joking you. It's broad daylight. People are walking their dogs, doing their, whatever. I decided, usually I go out by my house, which is the lower exit of the cul-de-sac, but I decided to go up and go out the top one. If I'd have gone out the bottom one, I'd have been dead. Not joking. I went out the top way. I came down the street. Okay, so you come down the street, and then the street goes like this. It goes to another cul-de-sac over there, and then out to the main street. I was going down that way. There was a red truck or some kind of SUV thing parked. The guy had a gun pulled. So I'm pulling up. I'm trying to get around him. I see that he has a gun. I am so shocked. I can hear him screaming at people to my left, and we're talking, it's a 2-car street. They have a gun on the side of the street. These people are shooting across the street. This is our neighborhood, no joke. And so I pull around the car. All his doors are open, and I can hear him screaming like a crazy person. I'm going to fuck you up. It's 4 o'clock in the afternoon, and I'm trying to get to Ralph's up the street. That's all I'm trying to do. And I'm a white chick. This is our neighborhood. My kids walked home in this neighborhood. This is what I'm saying to you. That's where we grew up. I mean, that's where they grew up. Anyway, well, one of the houses they grew up in. Anyway, so I pull in front of this car. I'm so shocked. I don't know if I should duck. And then I'm like thinking to myself, well, if I get shot, this is me. I'm like, John's in the house. I can call him, but I can't even like make my hands work, right? Because Keith has just died. So, and I just buried him or cremated him or whatever we did. And so I go in front of that guy, and he's still focused. He doesn't give a shit what I'm doing. He's got a gun pointed not at me. And I'm thinking, are they shooting him or is he shooting them? I pull in front of him, and then I turn on to the main street, and I sit there and I'm thinking, what is going on? So I'm about to get out of my car and ask him if he's okay, but I can't think clearly, right? I'm literally don't care, but I can't think clearly. I'm like, is he the shooter or is he getting shot at? A cop car comes by, and he does this, and he goes, are you okay? Because I guess my car is like half in traffic. And I'm like, I think they're shooting each other. This is what I say. Suddenly, that guy in the car sees the cop, books it right out of there, and then they catch him down the street to the left, and that's all I know. And then I call John. I'm like, tell Jason they're shooting people out there. I just drove by it. Honest to God, like seriously. And again, we got home invasion robbery. I told you that story with John and Jason. So Keithy was friends with like just pretty much everybody. But we were home, and Jason was held up at gunpoint at 21 with a gun at his head in our house. So what do you do when you realize you live in that neighborhood and you're done like that? This is the truth. I mean, both I told you, John and Jason, and that's just like, yeah. And so when people judge stuff, it's not a bad neighborhood, but this is Los Angeles. It's not a bad neighborhood. It's what's across the street. And then again, it's like, whatever. There's gunshots out here, and I'm not even down there. So there's, we're still in that neighborhood. Yeah. I know Chicago is worse, but yeah, no, but what I was going to say, the nice move to Texas, I'm moving in with you, Bobby. What Keithy did before he passed. Anyway, my point of that story was Keith had a friend named Cheerio, and Cheerio, his real name was Porfirio, but nobody could say that. So we called him Cheerio, right? And Cheerio on his way, had come to pick Keith up for his birthday. But Keithy took off with Dorian, I think, that night. And they went into Burbank and they were, over there. And by the way, there's shootings in Burbank too, okay? But anyway, Cheerio went down the street, and I just remember Keith coming home and saying to me that Cheerio shot himself. And I remember that, and I'm like, no, he didn't. And then Keith said, well, someone said he did, but then he shot himself in the head. I'm like, no, he didn't. Was my first reaction, right? Anyway, what had happened is someone had shot that kid in the head. He was 20. And it was over the fact that he got somebody's girl pregnant. Seriously. This was over a pregnancy. It was over a 20-year-old fucking somebody and getting them pregnant. And the girl, I guess she was dating some gang guy, and then Cheerio had sex with her, whatever. Anyway, this little baby was born. His father was dead. Cheerio was in our house for a good 2 years, okay? Cheerio was in our house. Like, he played with Tulip up and down the stairs. No one believed me, but I felt it, and I knew it. Anyway, Keith came to me one night and said, Mom, about a year after Cheerio died, he said, Mom, he said, Cheerio came to me, showed me where he got shot and how it cleared up, and he took me out of my body and showed me. He said, what you're doing is real. And I said, you thought otherwise? And Keith is like, yeah, I thought you were making it up. Anyway, Cheerio showed him that. Well, Cheerio had this little baby. So the baby was a little boy. I found out after Keith died that 2 days before Keith died, he went to see Cheerio's baby and brought, treats for the baby and gifts and clothes and things like that for the baby mama. So I didn't know that Keith did that. He never told me that, but he just went to take care of Cheerio's baby. So that was the nicest thing. No, I found that out after he died. So that was very interesting. And Keith was a good boy that way, but he was friends with absolutely everybody. He didn't discriminate from people. I mean, if you pissed him off, he'd probably, get into a fight with you and he would do, whatever, but he was a good kid that way. I don't think I'm as altruistic because I'll shut you down and, whatever, but that's what he did. I found out 2 days before he died that he went and did that. Had no idea. And then from the homeless people at Keith's funeral, in the park, they came up once they noticed his picture that said that he would bring them things and he kept spare change in his car for them. And I don't even think I'm that altruistic. If they ask for money, I'm like, yeah, no, I don't think I do that. But, they do that. Keith was that way. So he took really good care, and Cheerio was his friend, and Cheerio was always allowed in our house. Whoever Keith brought in the house and whoever Jason brought in the house was allowed in the house, unless, of course, they pissed me off really bad. and even then, they were still allowed in the house. So, yeah, it was interesting. He was a good boy. But that's just to show you when people make a judgment about where somebody lives or what they have, you don't really know what you're talking about. And as I said, Marilyn Monroe died with less than 5,000, Elvis as well. And you would think that both of those people would have had more things in their possession on earth, but they didn't. And Judy Garland, etc. Yeah, I know. Yeah, that's exactly it. So Keithy was a good person. But, if I had to raise children again, I would say probably not in Los Angeles. Like, nowhere in Los Angeles is really a good place to raise your children. I don't think the drugs are everywhere. In the rich kids' schools or what parents with money, the private schools, they're still there. They're in every city. It's just such a big conglomeration of people like that. Yeah, Keithy was a good kid. He wouldn't come on this show, though. Keithy wouldn't come over here. Was killed by her boyfriend. See, yeah, it's not good. There's so many things that go on. But how did you pull yourself out of the slump? Oh, in 2017, I started hiking like a crazy person. That's what I did. I gave up on my life. I said, yeah, they got richer. That's called a legacy lawyer. I gave up on my life in 2017 because, well, my boys were older and they had their own lives. So it was very sad because I didn't have, I don't know what to say. I didn't have the same connection. Like Keith wasn't talking to me as much, and Jason, of course, wasn't talking to me as much. Jason doesn't talk to his mother that much. Keith did more, but they all had their own lives. They got to go on and have their own lives, right? And yeah, Keith did like Lila a lot and was super cute. But you know, I would see Keith though at night. I would have dinner with Keith and stuff. Not have dinner, see him eat dinner. We did, yeah, empty nest. So I thought, oh my God, I have nothing in my life. Because you get to your 50s and you're like, you have nothing. You've accomplished nothing you set out to do, except having children. I set out to have a family. I did that. But I mean, I'm talking as far as like personally fulfilling. I did not set out, my goals were not accomplished. So I was like, okay, whatever, I'm going to hike. So then look, I keep playing with this. This is the only problem with this shirt. So then my only goal was, I'm going to hike. I'm going to hike. I'm going to hike, right? Exactly. I'm going to hike. So I'm going to become as physically powerful as I can. So that's what I decided to do. I mean, I always ran, but I didn't really push myself, okay? I didn't really push myself in the way that I should have. So John was reading about Cactus to Clouds, and he said, you should try this one. So I went out there and I just started hiking these crazy trails, 6-7 hours a day. I'm not coming in. I'm not working. I really stopped taking a lot of clients, and I only worked to pay what minimal bills. So I'm not one that works to save money. I'm one that works to pay only if I have $2,000 in bills. That's what I will do every month. I'm not the type that works to put money away or works to have a plan for retirement. I hope I die before I retire or I'm never going to retire, whatever. I've never had a 401k or those kind of things, because when you work for yourself, you don't really. So what I did was I just thought, oh, learning flamenco dancing. So yeah, that would be fun, except I'm uncoordinated that way. But I just started to hike and hike and hike. So I thought that's what I want to do with my life. So I'm going to physically challenge myself and I'm going to hike. I don't really care what happens after that. I don't really care what I do. I don't really care, because I'm not going to get what I want. Technically, what we're taught to want, which I realize is what they tell you or what they feed your brain. So your mind's not even your own mind. You think that you want to do things the way that you want to do them because you're positioned in a way to do it that way. But is that really what you want to do? And no, it wasn't what I wanted to do, right? So belly dancing, yeah, if I was more coordinated, it'd be belly dancing too, but it wasn't that for me either. I get the urge, I'm like, take it off, and that's it. But thank you for that. Thank you, everybody. Yeah, belly dancing is great. I mean, they really got to move their stomach. I don't think I can really do that. I think you have to have control. I don't want my stomach out showing after the kids. The stomach stays in. The stomach, oh, belly dancing for 12 years. Yeah, it seems really great. But I started hiking. So my world became about hiking. This is all I can tell you. It was, how much can I hike? Where can I hike? Where can I challenge myself? Where can I exhaust myself? Where can I get over my fear? So I started doing everything that I was afraid of, and I started doing everything that I didn't think I could do. And that's what I started doing. And then I just would take clients just to pay bills, and that's it. So that's what I did. I focused on what I found to be fun in a physical. So for me, it's always been about the physical. So that's what I did. And I just barely came home. I came home. Everybody thought I was crazy. No one believed I was out hiking in the house. Keith would go, so you're hiking like this. I'm like, no, I am fucking hiking. But that's what I would do. So then they would know I would do it. So I would do it obsessively, 6 days a week, all the time, all the time, all the time. I'm not talking my little hikes, 5-7 miles. I'm talking 30 miles, 20 miles, 17 miles, twice a day, gone all day, never coming home, go home and sleep, get up and go out and hike. I just started doing that. And that's when my life changed. So that's it. And then Keith said, do your videos. And that's how it worked for me. It's always all about being physical. And again, I turned down TV jobs when I got hired if they wanted me to be in the studio at 6 in the morning because I would be out running. So I actually, you could throw money at me and I would say, fuck you, I'm not doing it. And they'd be like, don't you? And I'm like, no. I turned down contracts where they said they owned the TV show into perpetuity. I turned down, I wouldn't sign them. I turned down when they told me what it was I had to do being me, like the way that they needed me to show up. I turned down money. I turned down all kinds of money to be able to exercise in the morning. That's the truth. I have to do that anyway. I have to do that anyway, or I'll beat the shit out of people. So that's one thing. But I turned down a lot of money. I actually walked out of meetings and said, fuck you and your money, just because I could and just because it was fun. So that's what I did. That's it. So yeah, no, I did. But you know, I mean, then there were times when I know people, it's funny, they call you selfish and I'm like, no, I'm going to hike. Even when my kids were little, I would drop the babies, John would be asleep. I'd put them all in the bed together and I was gone. I would leave at 2 in the morning though, because I would have to come back and take the kids to school. So, but no, I'm just going to do that. That's what I did. So there were a lot of times I took business meetings on my phone while I was up on the side of a hill. There's a lot of times I do readings when I'm on the side of a hill, if I have to do readings, but I try not to do that. Yeah, that's it. That's just what I do. Exactly. That's what I do. And that's what changed my life, like that. No, I got called selfish always. If I put makeup on, they're like, oh, you're vain, you're this, you're that. I don't know if you shower, are you vain? Yeah, John and I are very different, entirely different. I don't know how that relationship happened. We're very different. He was a drinker, smoker, bar partier kind of person. And, you know, he likes restaurants. He likes jazz music. That's what he was. Everybody knows who he is. And he's that way. The first couple of months we dated, he has showed me all of my hiking hills in this country. He would show me this one and that one and all of that kind of thing. And then he stayed at home for 25 years, never went hiking with me, never did any of that with me until probably about 8 years ago. And then he needed to get his health stronger, so he asked to come hiking with me. So the way that we did it is we get up in the morning and you got to go there. And then I would leave the keys with him sometimes and I would do my run. And then he would go on the trail wherever. I don't really know where he went. Sometimes I found him at Walmart, really, quite frankly. He'd go, yeah, I was walking around Walmart. But I would do my run. So you're not going to interfere with my run. You're just not going to, he would be in Walmart. He'd tell me about the Walmart and he'd go to McDonald's. I'd be like, oh my God, who are you? Anyway, yeah, he would like Taco Bell and McDonald's. I would cook, healthy food. He would smoke up until he was 60. I didn't smoke, except when I was younger, right? Yeah. Well, no, the hiking trail was near Walmart and McDonald's, this one up north. So if we went to that one, he would take the car and he knows like it would take me an hour. And I go, did you hike? Because he'd pretend to take off down the trail, but then he would go that way. As soon as I was out of sight, he would turn around and go back to the car, I'm pretty sure. So I think that's what he did. I don't eat McDonald's. I don't do any of that shit. He does that shit. So yeah, he would smoke but then the best part, Vanessa and I had fun with this because he would drop us 8 miles from the top of one of the hills. And Vanessa and I would run up the hill and John would drive up the hill and he would walk around at the top. And Vanessa and I, it would take us 2 hours and 15 minutes to run up the hill. So we would have a ride back down. That was good. We would do that. So that's how we did it. But for the most part, no, he's more, he's different. He's just different. I'm more like physical. My kids are physical. My kids followed into the physical, he pretend hike and hike to Mickey D's, exactly. He would hike a little bit. Some of my hiking friends saw him, but I know. I know. I know. No, I'm talking before he was 75. He's not 75 yet. He'll be 75 in April. But yeah, exactly. No, but seriously, he wanted to get in better shape. But yeah, my kids, I took them to the gym. I took them to exercise. We took them. I mean, yeah, I taught them about exercise. I taught them about the mountains. I taught them to do that. I taught Keith to cook. Keith eats better. Jason can get away with eating shit, but Jason's a physical too. I mean, Jason is a physical. So John, I know, John's tall and thin. He was lucky. I mean, still in his mid 70s, he's still 6'1.5". Like, he's not shrunk really. He's tall. He's tall and he's thin, so he's lucky. But see, in our family, they worry about being thin. They don't think thin is a good thing. They're not like women, right? There you go. So yeah, when I'm 64, there's a song. I don't know, but I mean, he's still fit. We still went camping and stuff. Yeah, so anyway, he would pretend to hike. He'd sometimes come hiking. He hated getting up early. I would get up at 4 because of the sun, because you can't be out in 110 degrees heat. Okay, you just can't be, I can't, my skin. He didn't care if he was out in the sun. Him and Jason tanned. Keith and I didn't. Yeah, see, that's good. My boys were tall too. Yeah, no, I get up anywhere between 2 in the morning and 4 in the morning to go out and hike. Depends how far I have to drive. And I never do the same thing every day because I don't want people knowing where I'm going, and I never have. So I go wherever, so it's unpredictable. You never know where I'm going. So there's that. Okay, so let's see. Yeah, exactly. That's right. So that's what we did. But he shows me my trails, which is good. Okay. I love my state. I don't know where your state is, but I'm glad you love it. I'm glad you love it. Anyway, that's my story. This has been a boring one. There, of course you are. I know you are. Sorry, somebody's like, I'm not watching your live. I'm watching the Super Bowl. That's Arlene, so that's good. She should be doing that. She shouldn't be watching me. She can talk to me. Yeah, so no, I feel like I'm boring because it's my stories in my head, which is super great. You guys are all so great. But yeah, that's what I literally wanted to tell you guys, that money is just a reciprocation, and really just focus on what you like doing. That's what you need to do. You need to focus on it. You need to focus on what you like doing. Like, I like hiking. And it is hard because we draw a distinction between people with money and people with not. But when you die, you can't take your money. I know that they think that you can, but you cannot. You can never take your money with you. So you just have to, you cannot. You cannot do that. It's an energy. I don't think about breathing. I look at money the same way. It's not if I'm good or bad, do I have money? It's an energy like breathing. If you can breathe, you breathe, right? Yeah, we know what Tom Brady does. Fuck that guy. Yeah, anyway, he's in his 40s, you know. Do you really think that's happening the way that they suggest it's happening that way? It's not. Exactly. Anyway, yeah, I know what he is. Exactly. I know exactly what he is. Unfortunately on this world, you know, I don't know what to say. It's a very sad thing, this world. Yeah, we know. Oh yeah, you know what he is. Come on. You think he's really that talented? He might be partially that talented, but when you get into your 40s and you're playing, come on, football, come on, I know what he does. So sad and dark. I know. Hey, I can't watch any of them anymore. And people get really mad when you say it. Let's just look at things this way. It's a club. And if you're not in the club, but I'm not in any club and I can't attach. But actually, you know, if you're in a club, you're in a club. Oh my God. There goes the emoji I like so much. Yeah, I don't have anything on Britney Spears right now. Yeah, I know. It's hard, but if we continue to live on and on, I don't want to do that either. Like, when are we just like not allowed to live anymore? I don't even know why I'm here. This is what I'm saying. Oh my God, stop with the, okay, Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Tom, he earns his seventh championship. Are we bored? Like, how much can you do with this, right? No, I mean, I don't know. Oh, Keithy's case. Yeah, I don't know. There's more to come. Steroids, definitely. Everybody's on steroids. This whole world is about cheating, okay? Right. It's ridiculous. It's just ridiculous. It is. I'm here now in this life, but what happens after this life? Like, is there really a point to this life? Like, what are any of us doing here in this life? Oh my God. Okay, so I keep moving my seat all over. I'm gonna go in a few seconds, but I'm gonna tell you about a series. Actually, John told me to watch this. Okay, so have you guys watched Outlander? Is anybody watching Outlander? Does anybody watch the show Outlander? Do you know that one? Does anybody know Outlander? Yeah. Okay, so John told me to watch it. I don't watch anything, but he goes, I think you'll like Outlander, right? So I'm watching it, and it made perfect fucking sense to me in a weird way. It's about time travel. Okay, so I'm not going to give the whole story away, but in one part of it, a character travels back in time. So she's up in here in modern time or a modern time, and then she goes all the way back, but she does it by accident. So they're showing she marries, it's so interesting. It's got, well, I won't tell you, but anyway, in one life, she's with the enemy, who's a husband, and in another life, she's forced into a marriage, and then they're bound by blood, and then she's forced over there, and I'm like, oh my fucking God, that's what's happening to all of us. That's what's happening. We just can't remember it. This is what happens. Yeah, it's pretty good. I haven't got past, like, she hasn't gone back yet, so I haven't gotten past that. Yes, they say it's karma, but I really think, now the room is getting freezing cold in here, so whatever, it's coming through, but it's on Netflix. Yeah, it's quite interesting. I still think everybody should watch A Handmaid's Tale, written by a Canadian woman who looks like she could have been a man at one point in her time. No offense to her, but anyway, I'm thinking, yeah, the forearm, the blood. So that's binding, because a lot of times we're bound into relationships here. We're bound in A Handmaid's Tale. Well, we're living it right now. Yeah, I mean, seriously, it's great. Anyway, there you go. Isn't it? I know, but do you see The Handmaid's Tale? Do you see like the similarities? Because I freaking do. Yeah. Anyway, that's it. Okay, you guys. I really have to eat. My energy is going down. Oh my gosh. Okay, so yes, Margaret Atwood. She's Canadian. I had no idea. Excuse me. But it made sense to me that she was similar. Yes. It made so much sense to me that she was Canadian. I was like, oh my God, she's Canadian. I totally understand. Scientology. Yes, Leah Remilly. Leah Remilly. That was interesting. Leah Remilly. Listen to Leah Remilly on Scientology. I was just listening to her. Now, keep in mind, Leah Remilly and so L. Ron Hubbard, Jack Parsons, I said it right this time, and Aleister Crowley were all roommates. So we've got Scientology, we've got NASA, and we've got, Satanism all rooming together. That's what we have. Yeah. So it's kind of interesting. It's interesting. You guys, thank you all. Now I feel like I'm going to sneeze. Oh no. I feel like I'm going to sneeze. Yeah, Leah Remini. Yeah. Remini. Correct, her. Exactly. Okay, so if anybody wants to go have a fun dinner, get yourself to Palm Springs, because it's totally fun. Everything is like open, and there's restaurants and tons of people and really fun, and it's exciting. So it's really good. Okay. Peace out, you guys. Have a really happy night. Remember, in order to manifest, in my opinion, and keep in mind, we don't always get what we want, that's for sure, because I would have Keithy if I still got what I wanted. But In order to manifest, do what you love and what makes you smile without consideration of money. Just doing. If you like garden. Absorb that feeling of happiness, whatever it is, okay? Like absorb your feeling of happiness, however and whatever it is. And then just do the other things, but focus on the smile and the happiness and that. Yeah, my favorite, I don't have a favorite place in Palm Springs because I'm always hiking. So, meaning I'm so happy to get to the tram to eat at the tram, which isn't really what you're going to do because the tram's closed. So, I don't really eat at the restaurants. I literally eat at the tram after I've climbed through the desert. So, that would be my favorite place because they just have food in a bathroom. And I'm like, oh my God, so great. But just focus in order to manifest, focus on what makes you smile. Don't lose your smile. Garden, if you like pets, if you like your grandkids, if you like whatever it is, it doesn't matter what it is. Birds, chipmunks, it doesn't matter. Do whatever makes you smile. And in the act of smiling, and that smile on your face will bring about the changes that you want. That's honestly how I feel. That's honestly how I feel it works, in truth. If you focus on something you don't have, like I don't have, insert name, you focus on what you don't have. So you want to focus on the feeling of what you do have. I'm happy I have this, whatever the this is. Focus on the this. That's all you have to do, whatever the this is. It doesn't matter, unless it's crack. Don't focus on crack. Music, dogs, kittens with sweaters on them, gardening, cameras, photography, nails, whatever it is, get that moment of what makes you smile. Every time I drive up to a mountain to climb with a cliff, I have a huge smile on my face because I'm like, I'm gonna try to beat my time to the top. As I'm doing it, I'm hating it. But when I get to the top, I'm super excited. So that feeling is what allows me to do those other things I don't want to do that bring about different ideas in my head, because I want you to absorb the feeling. Pottery, whatever it is, pets, pottery, nails, talking to your neighbor, I don't care what it is. That's it. Crack is whack. Don't do crack. And on that note, okay, you guys, bye everybody. Have a good night. Kittens and sweaters. Exactly. Kittens and sweaters. Focus on kittens and sweaters. Okay, bicycles. Bye, you guys.